India has always had a bit of a Brahmanical tradition. And by that I mean wealth is a bit sneered at and looked down upon a little bit. It's a little bit like the difference in Europe between the Catholic view of things and the Protestant view of things. That's changing now. So success, especially success in financial terms, is now more and more looked up to by the younger generation. And earlier in India, this Brahmanical tradition, together with the socialist economic policies, created a situation where entrepreneurship, wealth building, was not very well looked upon. In the 70s, a good 25% of the telephone calls I would get were from people who were requesting an early delivery of something like a refrigerator, because there was a waiting list of 5 years for something simple like a refrigerator. Okay. Winston Churchill once made a very good statement between capitalism and socialism. He said the disadvantage of capitalism is the unequal distribution of wealth. The disadvantage of socialism is the equal distribution of poverty. One big difference is relative to, say, a country like China, or even relative to some of the developed countries. This is a very strongly consumer-led growth story. China is more of an investment-led growth story. Here it's consumer-led, and that's one of the reasons why, despite the global slowdown, the slowdown in India is much less affected. One thing is we are maybe a decade or so behind China in development, so that gives us an opportunity not to commit the same errors that China did. Also, technology today is much broader and available to be used to continue to grow in a greener way. So I think, yes, we can do it and we should do it. We should learn what China has done well and emulate it, and we should also learn what China has done badly and reject it. The most important challenge to my mind is education. The good news is that Indians are eminently educatable. Unfortunately, we've not done a very good job in educating. In certain sectors, we've had some excellent engineering schools, we've had some excellent management schools, not enough of any. So we need to have a tremendous emphasis on education. I think one of the great advantages of India is how a very large number of people are familiar with and speak English. I think we should further enhance that. That is a great advantage India has, especially over some of the other developing countries, and we should maintain that. The second important challenge is our infrastructure. But I would put education first and infrastructure next. I know most people tend to put infrastructure as first. But infrastructure, I mean, you have to just move around India to see that we need to improve our infrastructure. We've had some pretty bad traditions in this country which need to be overcome. For example, divisiveness in society, paternalism. We're too steeped in superstition and things like astrology, etc., instead of rationality. I think India needs to be more rational and more reason-based society. But the one thing I'm very proud of is that India never in its history colonized another country. For example, Buddhism emanated from India. Now it is gone as far as Japan. Other religions emanated from India. A lot of culture spread from India to other parts of Asia. These sentiments of globalizing without any military basis, I think is a great Indian tradition, and I think we should follow that up in the modern times also. 10 years ago, most international media look at India and show its poverty, or a cow walking on a road or something of that sort, which of course does happen in India. But now I think increasingly people are recognizing India for, say, its IT acumen, for its very large number of very successful Indians who have migrated abroad. India is being looked upon as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. So I think the image is changing for the better, and India is very diverse. If somebody could very successfully write about India very negatively, and he or she would not necessarily be wrong, and you could do the other way and again be right. So I think India is diverse, India is quite different, and but I think the image of India is improving all the time. India should be open. It should clearly, for example, in things like climate change, etc., play a very active role in ensuring that the global goals are achieved. India needs to play a stronger role, to my mind, in the United Nations and international fora. And if you look at purchasing power parity, India is the 4th largest economy in the world now. And so to the extent of its size and its importance, I think it should continue to play a stronger global role. What I like most about India, and that's its democracy. So I'm very proud of India's democracy. It's been one of the very few low-income countries that has steadfastly followed democracy. I'm very proud of it. I think the second thing I'm proud of now is its openness. India is a very open country. India has accepted people and thoughts from all over the world over history. Just the fact, one thing I'm proud of is, for example, despite centuries of British colonialism in India, we still follow many British traditions which we feel are good for us. The English language is still strong, so we are open.